Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were warned that the palace will always win, before stepping down as senior working royals, according to royal expert Angela Levin in her book. Angela Levin, royal expert and author of Harry, Conversations with the Prince, wrote in her 2018 book that Meghan's personal speeches, notably at an International Women's Day panel in March 2019, caught Buckingham Palace on the back foot. Ms Levin wrote, "Meghan had no qualms about working outside the rather antiquated royal machine and knows exactly how the modern world works. Boasting a pool of loyal, savvy friends ready to speak out on her behalf." A source told Ms Levin that the palace was prepared to wrestle back control from the Sussexes. The source said, "Don't worry, the palace will always win. The palace machine is a force to be reckoned with, however impressive employees may be. The best communications staff are those who have spent some time in the armed forces because they can take orders and know their place. Harry will have recognized this." A former member of the royal household told Ms Levin, "Everyone who comes into the royal family needs a bulletproof raincoat." The late Princess Diana called the individuals in controlled grey winds and saw them as a malign dark force. Meanwhile, members of the royal family are unsurprisingly concerned at news the Queen has tested positive for COVID-19. Royal biographer Robert Jobson, author of William, The Making of a Modern Monarch, has expressed concerns at the Queen's plan to carry on working, but says big royal events including the Duchess of Cambridge's trip to Copenhagen this week would have been cancelled if things were serious. He explains, "The Queen has been the perfect role model throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. During the lockdowns she made sure the public knew she had been fully vaccinated and urged everyone to think about other people and get jabbed when they were offered one, and as others in public office, who should have known better, partied in the corridors or at least gardens of power. She stuck to the rules and sat alone at her beloved husband Prince Philip's funeral in April last year. Now, a few weeks shy of her 96th birthday, she has contracted the COVID virus. The palace has assured us that there is no need for panic, with their statement talking of mild cold-like symptoms. Thankfully, she has a top medical team around her monitoring constantly. As a rule, the palace do not routinely talk about the Queen's health unless they have something definite to say, and she clears it this time. They have been candid. What concerns me, however, is the reference to Her Majesty continuing with light duties at Windsor over the coming week. I really think, given her great age, that she should have a complete rest and leave the duties to others in her family. There is no doubt the Prince of Wales and his family will be concerned by this development and won't be complacent. Charles often spends longer at Windsor Castle when he visits these days, so that he can enjoy quality time with his mother. Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, flies to Copenhagen this week for a series of solo engagements. If there was a serious cause for concern, I am sure that the overseas visit would have been postponed. That said, every time there is a palace bulletin about the health of the monarch, it focuses the minds of her family and her loyal subjects during this Platinum Jubilee year. Notably, Robert also believes the Queen's latest health battle will be yet another reminder to Prince Harry of the distance between his new life in the US and his elderly relatives. He adds, "I am sure it will focus the mind of Prince Harry too, who was once so close to the Queen." His wife, Meghan, seems happy never to return to these shores, but for Harry, being more than 5,000 miles away from his family at times like this must emphasize his isolation from the House of Windsor.